All right, everyone seated? How is everyone? Awesome, awesome. Feeling the pride, yes. Well, my name is Dr. Sophia Marjanovic, and I am a field organizer for the Bernie Sanders campaign here in New Hampshire. And I want to start just by acknowledging we are on Abenaki land. We're on Indigenous land. And I'm also a water protector of the Fort Peck Oglala Lakota. The reason why I'm a water protector is because I grew up seeing my community. The people in my family, in my community, were drinking water that came out of the faucets, red, yellow, orange, smelling like petroleum, and having oil droplets floating atop it because we were targeted for being the dumping grounds of the oil drilling companies. I grew up seeing people dying all around me. I grew up seeing babies being born blue. And this was definitely something I needed accountability for. So I got comfortable with discomfort. I left the protection of my community, and I went to Washington, D.C. so that I could get my PhD in immunology at the George Washington University and do my research at National Institutes of Health. I got my PhD in immunology there, and I left the protection of my community, my family, and being there, I was faced a continuous onslaught of violence that is targeted to Indigenous, Black, and Latinx women in this country. It's never stopped, and especially with Indigenous women, we are targeted for human trafficking, sex trafficking, sexual harassment, sexual assaults, domestic violence, and it never has let up. So even though I've been getting my PhD, I've faced all of these things in the DC area and leaving the protection of my community. And one of the problems, additionally, that I've faced is I'm standing here before you with the resilience of generations of Indigenous mothers who have lost our children, have had our children ripped away from us because it's an intentional tactic for making us despondent in this country. It has never stopped. It started, the ripping of children away from their mothers had started with Indigenous peoples, and it continues, as you see at the borders right now, to other Indigenous people coming across these manufactured borders. So we all need to stand in solidarity to ensure that all of our children are protected from this trauma that continues to Indigenous peoples. I need you to get comfortable with discomfort like I have. I came to the front lines of this campaign so that I can ensure that Bernie Sanders becomes president of the United States. When I was in DC, I saw Bernie holding rallies for my relatives who are fighting the Dakota Access Pipeline. Those are all my relatives, and I was amazed by that. And I stand here before you, asking you to stand with me as well in assuring that we get Bernie Sanders for president, because he's the only person that I've seen among the presidential candidates who has the conviction to stand up to the power. He leverages his privilege so that we can be heard. Most marginalized people can be heard, and we need someone like that. So I'm calling on you today to stand with me, because we are in the final hours of the New Hampshire primary. We need all of you to get comfortable with discomfort. Join me on the front lines and knocking on doors and carpooling people to the polls and ensuring that every single person possible within the state of New Hampshire can get out to vote for Bernie Sanders for president. Because we all deserve better. I deserve better. My family deserves better. My son deserves justice. You deserve justice. We all deserve justice. So who's with me?